I know on a soul level, our souls crave the energy of slowing down. I think we all have this like baseline level of unsatisfaction, unhappiness, unsettledness because we're always rushing. And we can't access those deeper levels of peace and calm and alignment and fulfillment and presence because we're always rushing. Hello, my loves, and welcome back to my channel. I am so grateful that you are here as always. Today, I really want to talk to you about the power of slowing down. Now, it is no secret that that's like a trending thing on social media and especially on YouTube. I follow a lot of creators that create like slow living content, and I'm honestly very glad that it's trending because I think we all need it. We are addicted to rushing throughout our life, and it's just like a facet of our society. It's the way that people have been doing things for a while, and this mentality has just gotten passed on to us, but we don't have to keep living that way. Because I was telling my mom the other day, I feel like 90% of my problems could be solved by slowing down and just stopping the rush mentality. Like, our nervous systems are in such a state of stress because we're always rushing, many times, most of the time, for no good reason. And that energy of rushing just creates so much more stress than we need to be, and it takes you out of the present moment. So to me, slowing down is really a rebellious act of being present. As I'm recording these clips, I am actively trying to slow down and rewire my brain, because that is a big part of living an aligning life and living a present and fulfilling life, is like embodying these lessons. And it's something I've struggled with since I've started my podcast, honestly. So I feel like this new format is really going to help me not only talk the talk, but walk the walk. And I've been trying to, I really have, but life's you sometimes. Like, life is lifing, especially as a mom to two young children. Oh my goodness, it's so easy to get into that rush mentality, especially in the morning when I'm trying to get my toddler to preschool, or at bedtime when we're trying to cook the dinner, eat it, clean up, get ready for bedtime. We're just rush. So I just keep reminding myself through practices that I'll share on here, through coming back to my breath, through tuning into my body, and just like seeing how my body feels. Because if you tune into your body when you're rushed versus when you're slowing down, oh my goodness, what a difference. When we're rushed, obviously all those chemicals of stress are being released, right? Adrenaline. Compared to when we're slowing down, not only does our body calm down, our heart rate lowers, our brain can get into a brain state that is more cohesive with our heart. Oh, we can get into all the woo-woo science spirituality stuff on here for sure, but you can just feel it. You're in a much more peaceful, enjoyable state. At least that's how I feel. Of course, there's time for adrenaline rushes here and there if you're into that, but we don't want to be in that state all the time. We do not want to be rushing all the time in our life. That is not good for your mental state, and it's not good for your physical state. It's not good for any aspect of you. So choosing to actively slow down, honestly, is rebellious in this day and age. It is rebellious, and it is so good for the soul. And talk about aligning. invitation for me in this season is to gently go into spring. I know spring can bring with it a lot of rejuvenating energy and a lot of excitement, and I feel that too, but I also feel such a nudge to mimic nature and like not rush into spring. The trees are not rushing to bloom, especially here in the Midwest with the ups and downs of the weather. They like are confused if it's spring or not. I'm having the same mentality. I'm using nature as my inspiration and not rushing into spring. I'm in a very interesting season of life, of motherhood, and I want to be present and I want to enjoy it as much as I can. And I don't want to rush, because rushing through life makes me not enjoy it, honestly. One of my major intentions for this year is to enjoy motherhood more. And a big way for me to solve that is to slow down and not rush it and romanticize it. Like, I have to romanticize my life because it can feel very mundane. We're doing the same thing every single day. So romanticizing it by playing fun music for us to dance to while I'm cooking, or playing with the kids, lighting candles, putting ambiances on the TV, going outside, being in awe of nature. Such simple things and key to my intention of enjoying motherhood. All right, one pro to slowing down in my days is I've noticed that if we get to school drop off later, we don't have to wait in line as long. Like, some parents line up so early, which I get if that is something that's important to you and you want to do, but we would rather just like show up late, pull up, drop them off, and leave instead of waiting in line for like 25 minutes. So a pro to slowing down is we don't have to wait as long in school drop off. With many of these things, I'm not saying it's easy because it's so ingrained in us to rush through life, but it is simple. Just the practices of setting this intention of slowing down, consuming content like this where people are slowing down, stopping and breathing throughout your day, journaling, talking about it with your family. Like, how can you slow down as a family? So powerful. And not only as a mom, but also just as a human, as a creative, as a person here on this planet. I think we're in such a rush to find the answers, to find clarity, to find the next steps. That has been me 1000% in the season. I'm just like trying to rush to like this unknown destination of clarity, or what I'm supposed to be doing next. And it's literally an illusion that I'm creating for myself. So I'm like chasing this illusion and not really enjoying anything in my current reality. And especially when that comes to my creative work, like putting pressure and rushing creativity, oh my goodness, nothing squashes it more than rushing and stress. So it's like a breath of fresh air in all aspects of my life: motherhood, creativity, as a human, as a wife, and all the different roles that I play. Slowing down helps everything. And honestly, I think we're so addicted to rushing that we don't even know how to rest. Has anyone been in that situation where you're like rushing through your whole day to finally get to like after bedtime, you put the kids down so you can relax and have a moment to yourself, and then you get to that moment and your body can't relax? Yeah, it's because we've been in fight or flight all day. So practicing resting and slowing down before is going to help us actually be able to rest when it comes time to actually rest. Like, that's how I'm viewing it. I'm practicing slowing down all day, so when I do get to those moments where I have some time to myself, because those are fleeting in the season and that's okay, I can actually enjoy it. Nap time anxiety is such a real thing for parents, and the act of slowing down is going to, honestly, it's paradoxical. Slowing down is going to give me so much time back. And I'm going to give an example of this, especially when it comes to motherhood. When I try to rush my toddler in the morning to eat his breakfast, get dressed, get in the car, he can feel that energy, and it takes so much longer, so much more energy, so much more convincing and bargaining to get him to do all those things and to get in the car. But when I slow down, when I keep my own energy calm, and I'm not saying I do this all the time, but this is a reminder to myself that when I do this, when I slow down, keep my energy calm and peaceful, keep it playful for him, it is so much easier to get him dressed, fed, in the car so we can go to school. Isn't that interesting? Like, slowing down actually gives you so much time back. And that's just a tiny example of that, but that could be applied to so many areas in your life where you're rushing through it. And we could get real woo here, go down a real rabbit hole. I have a whole podcast episode that I will link about how time is an illusion, but that is true. Like, time is a facet of our reality, just like space. Like, we are traveling through space and time can kind of bend and stretch based on our perception. So when you're rushing through things, of course, time is going to seem different than when you're slowing down. But when you're slowing down, time is on your side. Honestly, when you slow down, time is on your side. I'm really practicing allowing my body and my mind to not be addicted to rushing. What an interesting practice and thought in this day and age. Okay, I just wanted to do like a midday update on how I'm feeling on trying to prioritize slowing down today. First of all, it kind of shocks me how much I have to remind myself to slow down. I guess it's not that shocking, but it's just crazy how easy it is to get in that mentality of rush, and just remind myself, like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, you don't need to rush through the simple task. And I think some of it too, being a mom to 2 young children, and there's a lot of things they need from me. It's like you're rushing to get them all the things they need so everyone can be happy and content. It's like, no, just slow down. And then another thought I've had, put this down for a second so I can put Luna's shoe on, is that I feel like a lot of times we're subconsciously rushing because we want to rush to like the next stage of life or the next thing of life. And I definitely don't want to rush to the next stage. I mean, even though there are times where I'm like, oh, it'll be nice when they're a little more self-sufficient. But I know when I get to that stage, I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, I miss this stage so much. So it's like, can you have nostalgia for the stage you're in and also be present in the stage you're in? So I just feel like that's another root cause to us rushing all the time, is we're just trying to rush through this phase in this season of life, which I don't think any of us really want to do. We all want to enjoy the season we're in, right? Even if it's a tough one, even if it's a crazy one, even if it's one that's really stretching you, I think we all want to learn how to embrace each season a little bit more. And slowing down is definitely part of the key to enjoying it more. I know on a soul level, our souls crave the energy of slowing down. I think we all had this like baseline level of unsatisfaction, unhappiness, unsettledness, because we're always rushing. And we can't access those deeper levels of peace and calm and alignment and fulfillment and presence because we're always rushing. Rushing truly blocks all of those emotions, all of those feelings, which I don't know about you, but I'm calling more of those positive, feel-good feelings into my life. I know I'm not going to completely get rid of the other because we're humans. We live in Earth School. We live in this dualistic nature where we're going to have both. Like, if I have the choice to rush or slow down, it almost is kind of mind-blowing how we choose to rush when we could slow down and make everything so much easier for ourselves, smoother for ourselves, more enjoyable for ourselves. It makes me think of the Abraham Hicks quote, which I love Abraham Hicks. If you don't know who they are, Google them or search them on YouTube right now. But Abraham Hicks always says, like, we are so free, we choose bondage. And what they mean by that is we have so much power to create any energy, perspective, any things that we want in our life that a lot of us choose bondage. And obviously that's like a metaphorical bondage, right? But for a lot of us, that metaphorical bondage is rushing. We just rush, and it truly is like a prison to ourselves and our soul. We are in a prison of rushing. So let this be your invitation. Experiment with me. what it feels like to intentionally slow down. Maybe put reminders in your phone if you need to, because I know sometimes I set these intentions and then I get caught up in life. I get caught up in the hustle of life that we've all been conditioned into. But you always have the power to change and to choose. So I'd be interested to hear, maybe you want to do this with me and try to intentionally slow down in your life. How is that going for you? What obstacles do you run into? How good does it feel when you actually slow down? What situations have totally transformed because you chose to slow down instead of rush through them? Tell me all the things down below in the comments. And like I've said many times on here, I'm not doing this perfectly. I'm learning right along with you. And that's why I share these things on my podcast and on my YouTube channel, to try to remind us of the choices that we have and the power that we have in our perspective and how we choose to show up in this reality. One more practical thing that I want to share about slowing down and being more present is something that I purchased recently, which I try to be very mindful about the things that I purchase and intentional. But this is honestly something I would purchase like again and again and again, because it has transformed my life so much. And that is a brick. If you haven't heard of those, it's literally just like a tiny brick. I could go and get it and show it to y'all and insert a clip. But what it does is you download this app on your phone and you can connect it to certain apps on your phone that you will lock yourself out of when you activate the brick. And then it's kind of like time limits on your phone, but you have to go and physically tap this brick to unlock yourself from. I use it for social media, but you could use it for email, for text message, for any apps on your phone. And that has been a game changer for me, because it was so easy to delay my time limits and just like 5 more minutes, 15 more minutes on Instagram or TikTok or whatever. But now I have to physically get up, go to my desk. I just have it on my desk and tap the brick to unlock my social media apps. And I am so much more intentional with my social media time. With anything, social media can be such a beautiful tool. It can be used for inspiration, for connection, and it can be used for very low vibe things like comparison and judgment and going down rabbit holes you don't need to. But having the power over when you choose to plug into that and when you choose not to is crucial. So I highly recommend getting a brick. I was about to say that I don't actually have a discount code for a brick, but I do, and I manifested that so quickly. So just the power of doing this work, living in alignment, setting intentions, working on your energy, slowing down, it is no joke. Anyways, if you want to get 10% off your own brick, which I literally cannot recommend enough if you struggle with scrolling on social media, you can use my referral link below. I will put it in the description box below and also up on the screen. Honestly, not trying to be dramatic, but it has completely changed my life when it comes to social media and not being on my phone. But as always, thank you so much for coming on this alignment journey with me. Thank you for being here. If you are new, please subscribe. I have some pretty big subscriber goals and intentions for this year. So if you enjoy this type of content, just hit the subscribe button, because I plan to do more videos like this. And like I said, you can also check out the podcast where I have lots of conversations like this, where I deep dive into what it means to live an aligning, fulfilling, and present life. On this personal channel, I have travel vlogs, sit down videos, all different kinds of things. I even had yoga flows and meditations I used to record, so you can go back and check out those. But like I said, share in the comments, how are you trying to slow down in this season, and how is that going for you? Because we're all in this alignment journey together, and if you've been feeling this way too, you're definitely not alone. I'm sending you all so much love, all the highest vibes, and of course I will see you in the next video.